Hello and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins Ultimate Edition and the Awakening DLC. We are doing a codex update, so let's just jump right on into it. Bonnie's angry letter. Corin, is our relationship a joke? Am I a joke to you? What am I supposed to think waking up to this love note? Follow my trail of love, my darling. You are my hen, the mistress of my flock. You nourish my body and tend to my rooster. Really, Corin? I tend to your rooster? That's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in my entire life. You said there was a surprise waiting for me. I'm supposed to follow your trail? Ugh, I despise you. I abhor you, you petty, ill-made wart. You said last week that everything would be different for us. Well, you were right. I'm leaving. With venom and spite, Bonnie. Oh, and it turned out he was proposing, so he's kind of a bitch. Materials for working with dragon bone. What a lovely specimen, but dragon bone is so hard. I need a diamond. Yes, that will do. And a palm of great strength to keep the sword from burning my hands. The liquid from a fresh dragon's egg will also come in handy. Shouldn't be a problem for you. Oh, and a flame rue great master Calabar. Do hurry. Calabar? I don't know. The control ones I don't need to read. Let's go on to the notes. Just the one. A letter from Honora. Dearest Kristoff, my sister and her baby are well. I shall leave Jader as soon as they're settled. Expect me at the Vigil Keep within the month. Ferelden is cold and wet, so make sure your socks are dry before you put them on. I know how it is with men. You can slay 1,000 darkspawn, but when it comes to clean clothes and dry socks, you're hopeless. I can't wait to see you. Love, Aura? Records of Black Marsh. Okay. Some years ago, a dragon rampaged through the countryside, gorging herself on animals and people. Before long, she nested near the village of Black Marsh. Fearing she would drag off villagers to feed her young, we sent men to drive the beast away. The men were never seen again. The new Barness had till then done little for her people, but she emerged from her manor and told us not to worry. She'd been sent from Orleans not just to rule, but to protect. She promised the dragon would be gone by sundown the next day. She set off in the morning alone. We were certain she'd gone insane. What chance had a woman against a dragon? At sundown, there came a loud clap like thunder, so great it shook the earth. Then the Baroness returned to us triumphant. Of the dragon, there was no sign. The Baroness, no longer aloof, sang and danced with the lowest of us. There were dark whispers that the Baroness was a witch, but we did not care. Her magic had saved us, and for that we loved her. From the records of the village of Blackmarsh. Well, little did you know she was a demon, but okay. Kristoff's journal. Few in town have heard anything about Darkspawn stragglers. I doubted reports myself. I can't read. I doubted reports myself until a man told me he encountered Darkspawn in the Black Marsh. Although locals say the marsh is haunted, brave and desperate souls like this man still risk collecting pelt. The men said their leader spoke, but all know Darkspawn cannot talk. More horrifying, he described a monster. A worm with legs. Surely he mistaken about it. Following the Darkspawn. I shall leave the Black Marsh in the morning. From the Journal of Kristoff. Yeah, sure. Kristoff, you left. Eventually. Good. Ballad of Islay? The wind that stirs their shadow graves. The wind that stirs their shallow graves carry their song across the sands. Heed our words, cry our cry. Heed our words, hear our cry. The gray are sworn, in peace we lie. Heed our words, hear our cry, our names recall, we cannot die. When darkness comes and swallows light, heed our words, and we shall rise. From the Ballad of Islay, said to have been written after the Blight of Islay, which ended the fourth Blight, 520 Exalted. The Baroness's secret. The veil is weak near the stone circle. Perhaps it's my rituals, but I suspect it has always been weak here. I feel traces of old, ancient magic. Maybe this is what drew me. I think the girls feel it too. As we approached the circle, they sensed something was wrong. With me? Did they fear me? Something about this place is changing them, claiming them for its own. It is conceivable that using their blood to reinitiate my traps, their souls reinvigorate me, traps their soul in the fade. Perhaps they become the same demons, ghosts, spirits who invaded my dreams. No, it doesn't matter. They are nothing, peasants, while I am Baroness of Orleans. From the Black Marsh. From the Journal of the Baroness of Black Marsh. So I guess this is when, because of her blood magic and all that. The ancient vows. There is an inscription in the stone, and so you are defeated by Avera and Dwarf. Bound by the blood of your people, may they hold you here forever. Let's see. Anders. Most people enjoy being kicked in the head to be woken up each morning. Me? I'm just so picky. Anders is an apostate mage. He was arrested by Templars who intended to cart him back to the Circle Tower. Vigil's Keep was to have been a short stop on their journey. Unfortunately, the keep was attacked just after a group arrived, and Anders was found standing over the bodies of his captors. He insisted they were killed by Darkspawn. Regardless, Anders joined Katie Jane to defeat the Darkspawn in Vigil Keep. But Anders did not leave, returning instead to help defeat the Darkspawn. Afterwards, Anders was recruited into the Grey Wardens. He survived the joining. Orin. Let's see. What in this is new? When the Darkspawn was ended, when the Blight was ended, Orin settled down with his old flame, Freesia, and had a child, but domestic bliss did not last, and so Orin traveled to Vigil's Keep in hope of becoming a warden himself. Orin survived the joining. His extensive experience drinking bitter swell likely helped. Orin's passion for strong drinks hasn't warned justice. I have no name, only a virtue to which I aspire. A spirit of justice fought on behalf of the villagers that the Baroness trapped in the Fade. When the Warden Commander escaped through a tear in the veil, justice was dragged along and deposited in the corpse of a Grey Warden, Kristoff. The Baroness defeat left Justice trapped in the mortal world. Believing Kristoff's mission to be worthy, he agreed to travel with the Warden Commander. Kristoff's wife, Aura, arrived at the Vigil's Keep. Upon realizing what had become of her husband, she accused Justice of disgracing Kristoff's body. This distressed Justice, who insisted on finding a way to ease Aura's pain. Mahara, allow me to say I'm very proud to serve under your command. Mahari was a knight in the Ferelden's army until agreeing to join the Grey Wardens. She can think of no greater honor nor better way to serve the nation and is eager to undertake the joining. Sadly, Mahara's enthusiasm did not save her. She perished in the joining like so many others before her and was laid to rest as a Grey Warden. Morrigan. After After the battle, she disappeared. Morgan's critical eye is not resolved solely for others, knowing or not. She has simply fondness for jewelry. What? So, on the eve of the battle with the archdemon, she made an offer to the warden, Siren's a child, with her, and she could use it to capture the archdemon's soul at the moment of its death, saving the warden who struck the killing blow. Which she did. I don't think that was new, though. Nathaniel. Fun times. The Howls are piranhas now, those of us left. Nathaniel Howell is the son of the disgraced Arl Renan Howell, and among the last Scorsons of the once great family. He blames the Grey Wardens for his father's death and intends to assassinate the Warden Commander. Upon seeing Vigil Keep, however, his childhood home, Nathaniel decides to simply reclaim some family treasures. The Warden caught Nathaniel breaking in. Katie Jane, impressed to hear that it took 4 wardens to capture Nathaniel, invoked the right of conscription, making the young Hal a warden recruit. Nathaniel undertook the joining and survived. In a chance encounter with the Howls' old groundskeeper, Nathaniel learned that his sister Diana had married a shopkeeper in the city. Nathaniel was eager to find her, but Diana was content with her commoner husband and revealed that their father was exactly the tyrant everyone claimed. In time, Nathaniel came to terms with his sister's choice and his family's legacy. Nathaniel's a sensible fellow who values practical gifts over useless trinkets. I guess this is good to know for which gifts to give who. Senshella Verl? Verl has spent his life defending Armenethin when Rendenhal was Arl. Varl briefly became sensual of Visual Keep, but he repeatedly objected to Hal's orders and was demoted to lower and lower ranks. Nonetheless, he continued to serve with defiance. When Hal's act turned more sinister, Varl secretly sheltered those in need and used what little power he had to counteract the Earl's atrocities. Soon, Verl was lavishing in the dungeon awaiting execution, but Hal died first when the Grey Warden took over Armithanathan. The Order reappointed Varl as Central, although Varl is not a warden himself. His position as chief administrator of the Warden's land makes him privy to many secrets of the Order, including the joining ritual. The rare honor is a testament to his character. So many more. The Crown and the Lion. Did we read this one? One centile long ago, a bevan of bards met in Armenethin to determine whose song best stirred emotion and whose stomach best digested foul brew. The first bard fell mid-ballad into his barley soup, and the second into the lap of Alas Most Fair. Some say Fortifies was worth the price. The next could not keep his innards inside. One by one, they succumbed to fate, boredom, or insobriety. At the end, no man was left standing. There was only I, the lonely and fair Rosalind, master and mistress of the Crown of Lion, who proved that no man is mightier than the slightest of a lass. From the War of Lions by the bard Rosalind. The port city of Anaranthe. Outside of Ferelden, the city of Anoranthan is now synonymous with the Arling herself. But before the Orlesian invasion, it was only a modest fishing village despite a deep port well suited to cormorants. At the time, few other kingdoms had any need to trade with the Ferelden barbarians. The city changed rapidly when the Orlesians came. They built temporary docks to accommodate ships packed with chivalries. And for a time, why am I struggling so hard? Armherthian was the capital of occupied Ferelden. The Baron of Armherthian became one of the wealthiest nobles in the kingdom, as goods like wool were leached from the city's swollen ports. During the liberation, the fleeing Orlesians looted the city but left it otherwise unscathed. She recovered quickly. Ironically, Rithian's current prophecies is the legacy of Orlesian occupation. Do not share the opinion of local mind. From Islands of Northern Ferelden by Brother Burin, Chantry Scholar. Goodness. How am I messing this up so badly? The House of Amaranthin. The House of Amaranthin are one of the oldest noble families in Ferelden. Their lineage traces to the time of Callahan, when Ellis Hal was one of the first freeholders to follow Callahan. During the occupation, Arl Tarleton Hal, Hal's father, threw his lot in with the Orlesians. After several bitter battles with rebels, the town of Harper's Ford, an outpost governed by Tarleton Hal, fell to the court's land of Higher Tortown hanged. Redden brought the Hal family over to the side of the Mark Theron and Logan MacTair rebellion. Where did I lost myself? Brendan's bravery at the Battle of White River, fighting alongside Bryce Courtslin, earned back his family's honor when King MacTair took the throne in Free Ferelden. Renier Hal was decorated for his service. From Anella of Northern Ferelden by Brother Brindry of the Chantry. The Black Marsh. The Black Marsh is a dreary place so damp that you can feel the chill in your bones. Leave your clothes out to dry for a week and they'll still be cold and wet when you put them on. I called Martin Draft when he suggested we move there. An awful place, he said, but also a place where one can make a great deal of money collecting peat. By the maker's soggy underclothes, he was right. From the Journal of Vera, a seamstress. Surface dwarves. Cloud gazers, stone blind skyer. These are how dwarves describe their surface cousins. It's traditional to snort these words with disdain. A dwarf who goes topside forfeits his castle, his house, and the favor of his ancestors. Once he sets foot on the surface, he is no longer welcomed in Ozamar. Still, in recent years, a great many dwarves have moved to the surface. Some are castless and have nothing to lose. Others believe they have something to gain. Some think it's only a matter of time before Ozamar falls to the Darkspawn. Then there are the merchant caste dwarves with their frightful fare for business. I met one who nearly talked me into buying my own hat. I dare say most Merchants don't give a nugget about losing their caste or the favor of the ancestors, not the way they're compensated. From the Tales of From Beneath the Earth by Brother Javinji. The Great Strife. Rundan, shaman of people, turned from the gods who had ever sheltered him. In his grief, he destroyed the gift of the Mountain Father and brought us low. And Rundan pursued her. She fled into the earth and prayed to Korth to preserve her. He sent deliverance. They called themselves the Doors, and they protected Keotha. The First Warden. The national leader of our order is the First Warden, but you can expect little assistance or guidance so far from the Underfells. Even those close to Warp's hype learn to suffer alone. The memories are true. The First Warden is often embedded in the politics of our Anderfells and has little opportunity to continue worldly manners. I would like to believe it is a matter of survival, not of political self-interest. Now that your mission is vital, you carry the hopes of your order. If the highest among us holds noble titles outside of Anderfells, perhaps we will be better situated when the next flight comes. As we all know, it must. A confidential report for the Warden Commander. Vassals and their liege. Some kingdoms rigidly defy the rights of vassals and their duties to their lineage. In Ferelden, a relatively new kingdom, the Arls and Arleses theoretically command their Arlings, ban, and lords. In practice, those lesser, often zealous, maintain their independence. Some Ferelden vassals must be goaded instead of ordered, swayed, not ruled. Vassals own military obligations to their lineage, yet often deny they've ever sworn an oath and signed contracts. In contrast, the vassals expect their lineage protected despite provocation otherwise. A successful Ferelden lineage applies force, persuasion, and duplicity in equal measures. From a guide to statecraft published anonymously. The Vigil. Vigil's Keep is one of the oldest settlements in Ferelden, other than Durham and Gormar. The barbarians who battled the Tevinter Imperium chose this location for a fortress so that their warning fire would be visible a great distance when Tevinter ships neared the coast. The Vigil has seen battle in every major invasion of Ferelden. Tevinter's rival barbarian clans and the Orlesian have held her battlements. The Vigil was the first fortress to fall to the Orlesians and the last to be freed. The cell beneath Vigil's Keep retains traces of Avara barbarians. To the Avaras, the village was both a fortress and a holy site. The cellar bears monuments of their good gods, heroes, and their rare military victories. The Vigil cellar connects to the deep roads far below. Evidence suggests that the Atari and dwarves traded in secret, a breach of promise made to the Tevinter Imperium in the days before the Darkspawn. So this might explain. So like the deer heads that we saw in the last one, they might be part of the religion and the gods of the barbarians then? Creatures. We've got 4 to look at. Blighted wolves. When a man in the West Hills told me his encounter with a blighted werewolf, blighted werewolves, yeah, I'm stupid. I was inclined to believe him. Although werewolves may be abominations of a sort, werewolves possessed by rage demons, or so the story goes, it is true that their bodies still live. The blight is known to corrupt bears and wolves in addition to humans, elves, and dwarves, so it's considerable that any living creature, even a werewolf, is at risk. The men say the beast ambushed a bear springing from the shadows with such speed that it seemed a blur. The bear was dead in seconds. I thank the maker that I have never seen a run-of-the-mill werewolf. I am sure I never want to encounter one that is blighted. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, Travels of a Da Vinci Scholar, Brother Da Vinci. Dude, you're just never gonna leave us alone, are you? The children appear to be twisted mutations of Darkspawn. They have set even Herlocks, Genlocks, and Orgs to fleeing. The monsters appear first as children grubs, gruesome larva creatures that wiggle on the ground. This is the only venerable stage of their development. To squish them is to do the world a favor. The the displays of Darkspawn that have become separate after some sort of process of awakening, after which they choose their own names. They are cunning, powerful, and hold influence over non-awakened Darkspawn. And Tears in the Veil. Study of the Veil have never been thorough. The Tabinser once theorized that the veil is thin in places that have seen great bloodshed, as the Chantry is so fond of reminding us. The Magisters of the Imperium only once crossed physically into the Fade, and catastrophe that blackened the Golden City. As the story goes, the ritual consumed a vast quantity of lyrium and blood of hundreds of slaves. But was it the death that bridged the worlds, or simply the blood and lyrium? Or both? Demons seize every opportunity, every tear in the veil, to enter the world. Once the veil is torn, it is extremely difficult to mend. Some say impossible. From the lectures of First Enchanter Winslus. Well, it's not impossible because we fixed some tears in the veil, but I guess we're just better than everyone else. Okay, so this was our latest catch-up on the codex, and hopefully my new mouse and keyboard will get here soon so I can get back to recording more Dragon Age videos. In the meantime, in case it doesn't, I probably play a game that can be compatible with the controller in the meantime. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.